Welcome back, everyone, to episode number 82 of the Beginner to Master Speedrun. So I know it's been a while. I think the last time I recorded an episode was back in December, around December 1st. I recorded episode 81 from Singapore. But let's keep it going. I am currently rated 2373. I haven't updated my profile picture from back when I had a beard. I think this is when I recorded the previous episode, so still some memory of bearded me, but I have a clean shaven face. Hopefully, I can play some good chess today. And yeah, the goal is to get closer to 2400. So, how do I start a game? I clicked a button. Hopefully, we can get a game. Okay, first opponent, playing Broken One. From Canada, rated just over 2200. And I am fresh off of playing the World Rapid and Blitz Championships. So hopefully I'm warmed up. Hopefully not too burnt out. We have an Accelerated Dragon. One of my favorite Sicilian variations to play. And Knight b3 is not the most challenging line. Yeah, I'm just going to develop quickly. And I will admit I'm out of theory here. So pretty much on my own. I mean, d6 is very natural. There's cases where black gets to play d5, but I don't think this is one of them. So d6 it is. Now it's a very typical dragon position. I'm kind of debating whether to play h6. h6, the bishop could go back and then queen d2 comes with tempo. So maybe it's not necessary right away. I'm going to play a6. I think this is a bit more flexible. Preparing b5. White is taking time too. Rook e1. So, I mean, b5, I don't really see any drawbacks with. Gain space, maybe prepare bishop b7. Bishop f1 comes. So rook is unleashed. Yeah, let's play bishop b7. So I have the double fianchetto. Okay, a4 is an attempt to undermine my queenside pawns. I mean, b4 I think is the most natural response, which I might as well play right away. And knight d5. Yeah, I definitely have to be careful here with pressure, not only against f6, but also, like, if I take and then take, my e-pawn is vulnerable. Probably have to start calculating takes, knight e5, f4. Is that bad for me? Doesn't look pleasant. I'm wondering if I have some counter attack, like maybe queen b6 first, king h1. I wouldn't have knight g4 there. I want to make that work though. And there is another idea to take, knight e5, f4, queen b6, king h1, and then just kind of allow white to take the pawn. Not feeling great about that though. One more time. Takes, knight e5, f4. Really the main thing to be concerned about. I think it's very likely to get that position. If I play h6, there's bishop h4. g5. I play knight d7, rook takes. Knight goes to f6. I think it's worth sacrificing the pawn. I'm going to go for this. I burned a lot of time there. Okay, a5 comes. Also makes some sense. So preventing queen b6. I'll play h6. Maybe I can get away with like g5, bishop g3, knight g6. And then b2 is attacked. Let's go for this. Realizing there is knight d4, which saves b2, also prepares this. But yeah, knight d4 does lose d5. A tricky position. And white could also play something a little bit more passive, like queen c1 or rook b1, which we do see. What's my plan? Like rook c8, queen c7. I think bishop d3 might be coming. Then I can return to the square. Okay, I'll start with rook c8. Just trying to apply pressure on the c file. White's applying pressure to my undefended b pawn. I don't think I care that much though, because the queen's still tied down to this and this. But what to do? Queen c7. Targeting c2. And this could lead to some trades. Queen takes b4, bishop takes d5, bishop takes a6. I'd be down a pawn, but then there's options. There's maybe this or this first. And white has basically 3 potential targets. These pawns which are exploitable. I think here I should move back to e5. Bishop f5 might be coming. Let's start with this. There is some potential to go into c4 with a knight. Also some ideas of taking and then, again, trying to infiltrate via the c file. I mean, I could take with pawn as well. It's kind of interesting. A bit safer. It blocks my bishop, but something feels wrong about taking with the bishop. Like h4. Yeah, I'm going to take with pawn. And definitely not the first move I wanted to play. But the more I'm looking at it, I think the more it makes sense. Because now it's easier to attack d5. Like it's already attacked once. Rook d8 could come to attack twice. And with the pawn here, even though it blocks my bishop, it also blocks a rook on the e-file. Okay, so rook d8 or rook b8? Go for rook. I think rook d8 makes sense. Some e6 ideas. Pawn is now pinned. Take with bishop or rook? Take with bishop. So still down on time. Very imbalanced position. I have the bishop pair. White has a 3-on-1 majority on the queen side. I have a 5-on-3 majority on the king side. Knight c5. So a6 is a little bit weak. Again, I have options. I have this move. Defending, creating the battery. Expecting bishop e4 here. If bishop e4, I'd probably bring the rook to b8. And target the queen, which is tied down to defending the knight. Always have to watch out for potential forks. But I'm the one making threats. I have to take the bishop. I have initiative. Queen still attacked. We'll probably see queen a3. Ooh. Okay, I think that's a blunder. Opponent resigns immediately. Yeah, I was gonna take a little bit of time before playing this move, but my opponent realized before I had the chance to make the move. It's very risky when your queen's attacked and you go for a counterattack. In this case, I could just take the rook first. And if white takes this rook, I mate. If white takes back, I take, and black has won a rook. So pretty abrupt finish there. I gained 4 rating points. I think it was a hard-fought game up until the blunder. I think I was doing well, like towards the end. Like if my opponent plays queen a3, which I think is probably the best move. Oh, the engine says white's better actually. Queen a3, slightly better for white. I guess it is a little bit awkward to defend, like play queen c6. White's ready to expand, like pawn b4. Okay, I could still see how this is preferable for white. Knight is strong, my bishop's not that great. It's hard to achieve this. But it would definitely still be a fight here. Going back, yeah, let's just take a look at the earlier stages of the game. Yeah, all of this was fine according to the engine. Engine slightly prefers h6 first. Yeah, this whole sequence turned out to be quite nice for white. I spent a lot of time calculating this move f4, which the engine doesn't like. Queen b6, also knight d7 is playable. Allowing this and then going for queen b6. It actually says black is better after bishop takes b2. But definitely could have gotten messy. So yeah, I guess this line was fine to go into. a5 is actually the top engine move for white. And yeah, white was doing well. Oh, here my opponent missed. Very strong move. Top engine move by far is rook a4. Simply attacking the pawn. And I don't have a great way to defend. I could take on b2, but then, yeah, both bishops are targets. White's doing very well here. Kingside is a bit weak. That didn't happen. Now here, rook e4 was playable. Again, with the idea to win the pawn. But yeah, then once I got the counterattack, then it was under control. And yeah, tactics are important. This is sometimes just the decider of games is missing a move like queen takes d1. So let's move on. Nice start. Play another 10-minute game. Playing National Master, Pro Chess BR from Australia. And I'm going to play a London. Played a lot of London at the World Rapid and Blitz. This time we actually have a Jobava London, which I do like to play against this Fianchetto setup. Knight f3. I've had this position a good number of times over the years. A lot in online Blitz. So basically, black has given away the bishop pair, doubled my pawns, but I do have more potential to expand in the center. Pawn c5. Very confrontational. Kind of wondering if I can just snag the pawn. Knight b5 also looks attractive. Take a moment here. And there's also potentially takes in bishop b5. I do like the idea of taking, though. I'm going to rely on some intuition. I feel like I have a vague memory of having studied this before. Now bishop b5. I'm preventing e5. Now I could take and bishop e5. And the main goal is to hold on to the pawn, which I think is doable. I'm try and keep the pace here. With queen a5, I have queen d4. One reason to play bishop e5 is to set up queen d4 and then not have to worry about discoveries. And it's very nice having the bishop on e5, preventing rook from coming to b8. Black is going for simplification. I think I should take on g7. Now, this is not actually a threat because queen d4. So can I do something? I kind of want to play this move. e5 might be coming though. Also considering f4. And f4, I guess I should calculate. f4, queen a5, queen d4, let's say f6, b4, queen a3, rook b1, a5, rook gets a little bit murky. I still like the idea of playing f4. And if black plays f6, it's weakening. All right, I'm going to go for this. Wow, e5 anyway. So I want to take and play queen d4. There is queen f6 though. But then I can castle queenside, I think. All right, let's go for this. And black might take on c5. I'm up 2 pawns here, so I mean black can only win back 1 pawn. But my king is needing to find a safe place. I think queen d4 makes sense to start with. Pinning the knight, threatening f4. And now castle queenside. f2 is not takeable. I think I'm almost guaranteed to trade queens. Because black does have knight g4 though. e3 is a bit weak. Let's imagine takes, king takes e4, then f2 is an issue. So f4, knight g4, I'm thinking rook e1. Takes, takes. Let's go for this. And I'm really just trying to hold on to my pawn, keep improving, try and simplify at some point. I like rook e1. Whoa, what just happened? Opponent offered a draw. But I don't want to draw. e4 maybe. Issue with e4 is there's some lines where this might be playable. Oh, but my queen covers. Yeah, when I play e4, queen is still pinned. Takes, takes. You take with rook. Takes, takes. I think it's fine. And the e-pawn was backwards, but now, I mean, it wants to be forwards. I'm ready to take and then probably either take or play e5. Okay, so I could take with knight, although I think that walks into takes, takes f5. So I should probably take with rook. And the center is liquidating. And the endgame is far from clear. Like if we trade rooks and queens, it's 3-on-2 versus 4-on-2. I could take with queen here. But taking with knight looks a bit cleaner. And then pre-move this. Thinking b4. b4 makes sense. Just gotta try and make a pass pawn ASAP. There's f5, but then rook d7. It's quite strong. Yeah, this might be a threat now. So I do have knight d6. Attacking the rook and discouraging knight f5. Also controlling c8, which could be relevant in some lines where I break through. Probably not right away. Maybe just a4. There is knight g2, but then f5. Okay, opponent resigns. I feel like my opponents are resigning maybe a little bit early, but yeah, this position was looking really good for white. If I were black, I would try and fight on somehow. Maybe go for knight g2. The problem is f5, and then I defend h4. Black can't take. The knight's out of play. So it does look pretty bad. Oh, but then there's g5 maybe. It takes h4? Oh, but then f6. Okay. I mean, generally, when you have a knight and rook, you're only down a pawn. You should at least try and fight somehow. But we can go back. I think that was a pretty clean game. My opponent played one of the most common lines in this. I should note when I play h4, if black castles, the idea is to play h5 right away. And some lesser experienced players stumble into this after takes, and white has full compensation for the sacrifice exchange. This is already much better for white. So black playing h5 prevents all of this. Queen d2 is still my prep, because now if black doesn't take the knight immediately, I'll have knight e5 coming. And what happened in the game, yeah, the engine doesn't like c5. I think pretty much because of what happened, I just took the pawn. It's hard for black to win back effectively. Like queen a5 leaves this pawn undefended. Although I can't take it right away. I have knight b5, very strong. Offering the trade and threatening this. So knight c6. Okay, engine likes castling queenside instead. Oh, wow. Okay, so engine doesn't like what I did. And it says the best move for black in this position is something I didn't see at all. I'm sure my opponent didn't see either. Knight e4. Black can trade the knight for this bishop. Hits my queen. If I take, then take. And this apparently is good for black. But why? If I take? Okay, this is hard to understand. Engine likes black after rook b8. Leaving the pawn here, but attacking b2. Yeah, it feels very chaotic. I can't blame my opponent for missing knight e4. After knight d7. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to say, oh no, my pawn, but yeah, this would blunder the knight. E5. I think going forward from here, everything was pretty well controlled. Avoiding getting forked. Simplified. And then opponent resigns. Okay. Up to 2385. Let's keep it going. I feel like I've had relatively short games given this rating level. Next opponent playing B-Sun, or B's 1-1. I'm tempted to play Stafford, but let's stay with Sicilian. It's been my main opening of choice in recent times. I played a lot of Sicilian in the World Rapid Blitz Championship. Opponent taking time here. Knight c3. We might see a Grand Prix attack, maybe close Sicilian. Bishop b5 is usually my move of choice. We do see Bishop b5. I'll play Knight d4. That's the main line. And I play exactly this variation as white. Knight f3. I'm going for g6. Just fianchetto the bishop. And there are a few options for white here. White can take. I like to play bishop c4. There is some potential for the variations to get very tricky. White does take. There's a small trap. If pawn d3, I play queen a5 check and win the bishop. So white is correct in castling. And he'll play pawn e6 here. The main idea to develop the knight to e7. In some cases, eventually to c6. This also has a benefit of trying to undermine this bishop. Oh, is there a tactic here? No, there's not. I was thinking d3 takes and queen b6 to win the bishop, but d3, there's bishop takes d3. And same thing with queen b6 immediately, there's bishop d3. Not winning anything. So now it's kind of a question, like, is it worth going for this? Queen b6, bishop d3, and then like f5 actually looks interesting. Try and blockade white's storm. Let's go for that. I think white has to play bishop d3. Moves like this or this just walk into d3, winning the knight with a discover check. And I'll go for f5. It does look a bit weird, like I'm underdeveloped, pushing my f-pawn. But I put the pressure on white. And white's setup is a bit awkward with this bishop in front of the d-pawn, which blocks this bishop. So we might end up seeing like b3, bishop b2. I should note, I am threatening to take, and then d3, so white has to be super careful with the tactics on this diagonal. e5 is a move. With e5, I might play d6 immediately. I might just develop the knight. Look to play d6 later. And if white plays this move, then my eventual dream is to get my bishop to the long diagonal. Because then it would not be obstructed. And g2 could be a long-term target. White takes. So I'll take back with the g-pawn. Towards the center, opening the g-file. Yeah, I'm having these long-term visions of doing things on the diagonal and the file. Okay, king h1. So no more x-ray vision. White might want to play this move next. Mainly debating between this and this. I think knight e7 actually makes more sense. Not obstructing the bishop. Preparing this or this. Yeah, even knight c6 here. I did kind of forget about the line takes, 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 queen h5. I think that's totally fine, just king f8. King should be safe. And white will have the bishop attacked. Knight g3. Okay, so queen h5 is definitely a resource for white. Also, knight h5 could be annoying. Kind of tempting to play this move. Like sack the pawn, but then make the h file open. I could castle. Knight h5. Like rook f7. Even bishop h8. I'm not sure though. g4 might come. I'm gonna take my time here. Yeah, the queen is annoying blocking my b pawn. Can I play queen d8? And then still knight h5. Not entirely sure. Allowing knight h5 looks really risky. It's not easy to stop. I kind of overlooked knight g3. I might play queen d8 and give white the option. It feels very unproductive and just undeveloping, but I think the queen wants to be on the king side. I'm also allowing queen h5, which I don't think I mind, because do I mind? Well, now it's too late. Have to watch out for these ideas. But this should be okay, because now white is a bit slower to play knight h5. The queen's not actually doing that much. Maybe I can just get into g6 with my queen. And even if white gets this move in, I just have king g8, I think. I guess I do have to watch out for sacrifices. But for the time being, I think there's enough defensive resources, enough pieces helping defend. And this could lead to like a really interesting situation where both white and black want to attack on the same side. Clearly white wants to attack on the king side, but I have some attacking potential as well. Just realizing queen here, bishop check, king g8, queen e8. I can't play queen e8 immediately, man. Maybe I start with king g8. Kind of awkward, but what else to do? I could play queen e7, but then a4 doesn't really help me. Yeah, not comfortable. I might end up playing knight e7, undevelop everything. So the point of king f8 is to ensure this doesn't come with check. White might still play it though. And maybe I can just carry through with my own plans. And what is white trying to do here? Bishop a3, b6. Does knight f5 work? Bishop c4, but I have this move. I think it's okay. White has some idea of this and then this. That could be annoying. I think I'll just play this. Just realizing, yeah, now there's real possibilities of sacking on f5 with rook e8 coming. Now I don't have this either. I think I've gone very wrong here. I have bishop f8. Bishop f8 might be a move. I have my bishop b7. Rook e1 is so strong. I really mishandled this because this is an obvious threat. I play this, knight takes. I like somehow survive with this move. If takes bishop c4, d5, rook e8 doesn't work. Look at this move one more time. I think this just crushes me though. Okay, I'm going for bishop b7. Knight f5, I think I'll just play this and pray. Try and cut my losses. And there's rook f3 to follow. It looks really bad. Then maybe knight e7. Yeah, it still looks really bad. I feel like I didn't have my danger levels soon enough in this game. Still gotta fight. No premature resigning. Like, goes for this, so what if I take? I'm more expecting knight takes first. This I don't fully understand. Take. Queen f6, rook e8, takes, bishop f8. I think I have to call the bluff and hope it's a bluff. Queen f6. And there's also, yeah, the rook is coming in still. That's a big problem. But maybe I have this move. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking this might just win for white. Like, what do? I want to do things along the diagonal. I take and take. Like, there's a line, rook f3, queen g6, rook g3. I can't take because I get mated. White goes for this first. Now this is still coming. Oh, but do I have h5? Wait. Rook f3, h5, rook g3, king h7? Then queen h5. So what about h6? So rook f3, h6. Oh, there's queen d7, man. Yeah. Everything's crumbling. Is there any way to not get mated? takes. And this just gets mated in 2 or 3. Play this, takes. And e6 doesn't work. And e7 also doesn't work. I think h6 is my best try, but it's so bad. I have to do it. Yeah, queen d7 is coming. So bishop e7, I think knight e7. So if white takes, you're just trying to survive. They keep the game going somehow. There is one miracle line I'm seeing. Is knight takes e7, queen f7, queen b7 takes. Let's say queen takes, takes, takes. I have rook e8 in the end with a skewer, and there's no rook e3 because I have a pawn on d4. The problem is after takes, takes, I'm down, what, like 3 or 4 pawns. But maybe it's enough to like keep the game and try and win on time. I play this first. Actually, maybe it's worth playing this first. Oh, but the bishop. Oh, this doesn't work. This move? No, that doesn't work either. Nothing work here? It takes. I have to try this. 29 seconds. I just realized there's takes in queen e4. Oh, I don't have that move. Okay, this is losing. What to do? Well played to my opponent. Found the tactics towards the end. Yeah, tough game. We'll get to the end. Let's go through from the beginning. Yeah, maybe I was a little bit too creative in the opening with f5. It's playable, not the engine's top choice. Yeah, I think I underestimated the danger of a knight g3 setting up all these ideas on h5. Engine prefers queen c6. Yeah, maybe setting up these ideas. And then, yeah, I got back very quickly. I was expecting to lose a bit more quickly there. It's crazy how bad the position got. Engine says I should have castled. I was scared of this, and then g4 coming with rook g1. And then, yeah, I think originally I saw this idea, but what I had missed was queen e8. Apparently there's a lot of ways white can win, though. Knight takes f5 is the strongest. Takes and then this. Oh no, because d5. Okay, so apparently rook ae1 and white's down a piece, but yeah, there's no stopping rook e8. So what happened in the game? King g8, +5, almost +6 in white's favor. Yeah, I'm just losing the whole time. What to do? So there's a moment here Yeah, so if white were to take on, it's on b7, what line was I seeing? But now I'm forgetting. I think I was calculating takes on b7. Then it can take on f5. There was a potential for like takes, and then rook e8. And black's actually doing okay. Opponent, of course, avoided that. I had bishop. No, this is just losing. So I was losing the whole time, actually. Yeah, what to do? Tough game. GG to my opponent. I'm ending this episode on 2374. When did I start the episode? Or what rating did I start the episode on? I started, was it 2373? So did I gain 1 point from today? I think. Anyway, I'm ending it there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you have questions, as usual, leave them below. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you guys soon.